What's up, everybody? Just wanted to bring this video to you today because I see a lot of people out there asking whether or not they should go the Pso-Rite route or the Thrival route when you are trying to open up your hip flexors. So just a little bit of a disclaimer. Okay, I worked for Pso-Rite for about 6 months. Did a lot of content for them. You can check out their IG. And I think I did a little over 100 episodes on their IG Live. And then also I did some content that they put on YouTube as well. So one might think that I'm biased towards Pso-Rite, but I think that what I'm going to talk about today is actually going to surprise you, okay? So I was always curious, like everybody always talks about like, oh, the Pso-Rite should be adjustable, the Pso-Rite should be adjustable, it should be adjustable. How come I can't adjust it? I need something to adjust it. And here's the thing, guys. I have been doing body work for almost 17 years right now, and that whole, oh, it needs to be adjustable argument, that's a moot point. It doesn't make any sense from a body worker's perspective, because when I'm working on somebody, I might be using 2 hands, but I'm only really pressing into one area. When I work on people, their hip flexors, their abdomen, I'm only using 1 hand at a time. I'm never taking both hands and jamming them into their hip flexor. So when I was working with Pso-Rite, one of the myths that I was kind of tasked with dispelling was the fact that it needed to be adjustable, and it doesn't need to be adjustable. And even if it did, we always recommend using 1 peak at a time. So if you go back and look at all of my videos, literally over 100 hours of videos that I did for Pso-Rite, you're gonna notice that I'm never using both peaks at the same time. Okay, I'm only using 1 peak at a time when I'm working on my hip flexors. You can get in deeper, and you have the ability to move the peak around any way that you want in order to get anywhere that you want in your abdomen and your hip flexor region. Okay, so that's number 1. I was still really curious to see if this had any benefit. So I purchased it, and I've been using it for the last 2.5 weeks. And what I really got to say, guys, is that, you know, on so many levels, I'm super disappointed. The heads are wrong, okay? If you look at the peaks of the Pso-Rite, they modeled this after the shape of the hand and then the hardness of the elbow, okay? And really, when I look at it, I mean, this is basically the exact shape of my hand, where this is not, okay? This is much thinner, and then it's much thicker. I thought that the peaks being angled in was gonna do something different. It doesn't, okay? And then also, when we're looking at this here being much more narrow, I thought that it was going to be able to get into some place like my quadratus lumborum. Okay, so the quadratus lumborum, let me turn this to the side. We're looking at a lower back muscle, very commonly gets tight on a lot of people. So I've been messing around with this a lot, and it's just funky. Like it's really funky. I don't feel it pressing into my QL at all, okay? And I really feel like it's the shape of these peaks. And I've tried them in all different manners. I've tried just moving one, and then I've tried moving both of them. And to me, you know, I really don't understand, like, people want to talk about it being adjustable. So that's on 7. That's on 7. Yeah, there might be some people whose hips are this wide, but when we look at anatomy, guys, those hip flexors are coming down right along the spine, okay? And then they're coming out, going on to the bone. So if, like, let's say I was 300 pounds, and obviously I would have more girth, more surface area this way, really, it's the fascia that you're working on at this point. You wouldn't be working on the hip flexors. Do you guys follow me? Okay? So this right here, I mean, is even too wide, but it's much more compact okay? And it's much more sturdy also. And a lot of people, they look at the Pso-Rite and they're like, oh my God, I'd never pay 80 bucks for that thing. I mean, like, while I was working for them there, we had a customer that accidentally ran over the Pso-Rite with their car, okay, and it didn't break. I mean, this is like the hardest plastic that you can buy. This thing right here sounds kind of thin, sounds kind of cheap, and I think they're selling it, it's more expensive than the Pso-Rite. I believe this was $99. Okay, you know, made in the USA, so is the Pso-Rite. Pso-Rite's made in the USA in California. It's manufactured in California. But really, you know, I tried a whole bunch of exercises, and, you know, once again, I'm not just trying to be biased. I'm not trying to get you to buy the Pso-Rite. Believe me, I use the Pso-Rite because I believe in it. I use the Pso-Rite because it works and it feels right, okay? I tried using the Thrival, like I said, for the last 2.5, 3 weeks almost, and it just doesn't feel right. And as a body worker, to me, feeling is everything. Feeling is really the only thing, okay? I don't really know what else to say. So I'm not trying to deter you from buying the Thrival either. Buy them both, try them out, and see how you feel, okay? Ending this video right now, I think this is what is gonna surprise you guys the most. So, while I love the Pso-Rite, and while I don't so much really love the Thrival, I want to introduce you to something that I really do enjoy, okay? And that is Mobility Hand, all right, by Rogue. So one of the things that I love to do, and that I've showed with the Pso-Rite actually, is to go ahead and put the Pso-Rite up against the wall, okay? And I've done it with the Thrival as well. I've put the Thrival up against the wall, try to get into the psoas and get in deep into those abdominals as well. But nothing that I've found so far gets deeper than the Mobility Hand right here, made by Rogue. So one of the really interesting pieces out there right now, and why do I love it so much? Because you can really directly drive this piece into the fascia of the hip flexors, okay? It's absolutely incredible. Let's get you guys a little bit better view. So here I am, right here. You can angle it any which way that you can, okay? But because this piece is just a little bit thinner, it's even a little bit thinner than the Pso-Rite, that's what really allows you to get in there just like a hand. I mean, they made an even better shape of a hand than Pso-Rite did here. I can't remember how much this is. My wife actually got it for me for Father's Day, I think like a year ago. Yeah, just around a year ago. And this is actually my go-to guy, okay? If I'm doing anything standing up, this is my go-to guy. The only down piece to this is that you obviously need a rack. You need a rig, okay? So if you go to a gym, that's not a problem, but if you just do a lot of work at home, then you're tasked with finding maybe a piece of metal and just, you know, tacking it into the concrete in order to use the Mobility Hand here. But if you don't have it, then you could just use the Pso-Rite or the Thrival. Up against the wall, okay? We'll pretend this is our wall right here, okay? And it's obviously gonna produce very close to the same result, but you're tasked with holding it up against something. And like I said, I mean, I really did not like the Thrival up against the wall either. Just did not produce the same result. So 1, 2, and 3, okay? If I have a rig, I'm primarily gonna buy this guy, okay? If I don't have a rig and I still work out at home, I'm gonna get the Pso-Rite, okay? I don't know what scenario I could put forth to you guys to get the Thrival. I really couldn't. To me, it just feels super, super cheap. The peaks do not feel right at all anywhere on my body. Tried on my calf, I tried on my leg, tried putting it up against the wall, in between the rhomboids. I tried laying down on the ground, in between the rhomboids, putting it on there. I tried working with my rotator cuff a little bit, doing a little bit of work on the tricep, and honestly guys, just nothing felt right. Nothing felt right. So take it for what it's worth. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said before, I'm not really affiliated with any product. I'm not trying to persuade you to buy anything in any way. All I'm talking about is what feels right to me. Body worker, 17 years. I've worked on, everybody under the sun. Worked on SEAL Team 6 guys, Marine captains, Marine recon. I've worked on professional athletes in almost every single sport. And then, there's your average mom and pop or kid, that in most instances, they're a lot worse off than even the athletes, because the athletes are conditioned. Typically, the lay people who don't exercise are not, and they're in a lot more pain, okay? 17-year guys, 17 years. Take it for what it's worth. Let me know about your comments in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, okay? And we'll figure this thing out together, all right? Peace.